So when asked to curate this spoken word performance on the body, I was really excited because this seems to be all I ever talk about, is our bodies and how we feel about them, our bodies and what we're doing with them, our bodies and how we feel inside them. And so in preparation for this show, I actually wrote a blog to let people know a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. And so I'd like to open the show with that and then introduce our first poet. So this piece opens with a quote from Dorothy Allison, and she says, "2 or 3 things I know for sure, and one is that I would rather go naked than wear the coat the world has made for me." Writers must come to the page naked. The sharp focus that is given to external subjects eventually turns toward the self, and our words become about these skins we're in. We wax poetic about the burn of love, the chill of frost, the tingle of spring, the sap rising in our spines. The body inspires the poetic because poets are sensory creatures. We use every part of our bodies to search for metaphor, meaning, and connection. What some people consider eyes are, for us, bridges to rainbows and cloud configurations. What is a tongue becomes a sponge to soak in rivers of flavor. Our hands are magic, turning surfaces into spells we cast on ourselves through ink and imagination. Ears are canvases, where sound paints itself in violently subtle tones. The nose is a spectator to life, picking out ripeness, rawness, newness, danger, in one quick sniff. Without the body, we cannot experience the complex richness of what exists and would have no method for perception or conclusion. As a poet, my senses are set aflame by the smallest detail, how the sun picks up the trajectory of a tear on a cheek, the smell of the first drop of coffee brewed, the tingle left on my palm as it slides across denim. The sensory experience of my own body is the path to my poetic. I speak about the body from behind my eyes. My goal is to delve between what is seen about my body to how it feels to live inside it. Our culture, which often uses the visual as the only measure of experience or character, deceives itself in doing so. The poet's job is to speak truth to power and to illuminate the subtleties that are not obvious on first, second, or even third glance. The poets dig deep and the body is ripe for exploration. Not all poets perform. I am one who does. When I perform, my body feels like a channel for the energy in the room. There is also a sensory connection to the memories that form part of my poetry. Sometimes it's the memory of the story inside the poem, and sometimes it's the memory of writing the story inside the poem. My hands move rhythmically with my words, my wrists drawing circles in the air. I can feel my voice resonating in my chest, the dryness produced by my nerves in my throat, and whether or not my legs and feet are solidly planted. For me, speaking about my body is an act of resistance and rebellion. I am here to defy the associations commonly made with my size, my color, my gender. Sometimes I embrace those associations when I'm expected to be defiant. Telling the truth about my life inside my body and how the world looks to me is exhilarating. This truth-telling has given me a confidence about my body and my life that was never present before I began performing my original work. I know that if I speak in my own voice, that if I stand firm on my own legs, I am free and I am true. Speaking about our bodies, in whatever way we do, creates a place for us in the world and makes us feel real and alive. For me, my poems and songs are part of the story of existence. Words have created an eternal connection from my body to the living body of this world, encompassing all bodies, big and small. Thanks. So first up is my favorite group of youth poets in the whole city of Chicago. Since 1996, this female-founded hip-hop arts and education organization has been revolutionizing the way that we look at youth, the way that we look at poetry, the way that we look at art in general. I am so proud and happy to present Kuumba Lynx.
Organically unleashing truth, spitting powerful rhymes, organically unleashing truth, spitting powerful rhymes, organically unleashing truth, spitting powerful rhymes, organically unleashing truth, spitting powerful rhymes,
Sprout.
organically unleashing truth,
Sprout.
spitting powerful rhymes,
Sprout.
organically unleashing truth,
Sprout.
organically unleashing truth. It was
This life,
a
a
no
no
life. Doors closing.
Next stop.
Cradled in the bend of a spine. No cradle at the end of a life.
Next stop.
Cradled in the bend of a spine. No cradle at the end of a life.
Fruitvale,
Oakland's Bay Area Rapid Transit Station.
where the soul of the proletariat hustler, GED earner family man,
The third with his name.
lingers with the wind. The soul who never experienced 2009 like I did because of Officer Johannes, who came to detain youngsters on the claim that
They were having too much fun, but who could resist arrest in submissive position? Laid face down, grounded in the fact that there will always be crooked cops.
What to wonder why the gun on Johannes' waist had intent to deliver?
Was his hatred premeditated since birth?
He must have been the shorty with no friends.
Because to see Oscar and deliver the twitch of the finger, sending a bullet to be cradled in the bend of his spine, and claims the fear of the possibility that Oscar had a gun.
On the same day,
New Orleans, Adolph Grimes III was shot 14 times, 12 in the bend of his spine.
While visiting his grandmother's house, but we'll never know why, because Grimes is the only witness to this case of police brutality.
Ben Franklin would say he gave up his essential
For
liberty.
temporary security.
Johannes deserving neither.
sentence claiming involuntary manslaughter, stripped his 4-year-old daughter of a father, but there's no repentance in payouts and he knew it.
Hands to his head, wondering why his taser didn't come
And
out.
rejected his own theory like a confused physicist in later investigations.
Contagious fear, like the 41 shots fired prior to the confusion in the case of Amadou Diallo.
Who would confuse a taser with a handgun that weighs half as much on the opposite side of his body?
Now I know his hands rose like the poet, aware of the people around.
And ate the fact that there were witnesses.
What to wonder how blatantly placed facts are denied like the burden child. How the resource of power in the form of a semi-automatic pistol.
Bucks 40 caliber bullets.
Turns men to their core and strips them the right of thought.
You should be shocked at just another case categorized under police brutality.
Actualizing the actions of demons on this hellish earth, I'm accosting you.
Let this trophy be kindred bullet that drills a well inside your mental.
Until every fiber feels the healing of the oversoul. For every case like this, expunged from the history lessons.
Stand up for the youngsters, playing cops and robbers.
Stand up for the profiles claimed to be acting strangely.
Stand up for the Oakland cats in submissive position and still brutalized.
Because their souls still walk
From
unfulfilled.
Chicago to New York to the Bay and everywhere in between.
Cradled in the bend of his spine until his lung nurtured that wound of a piercing ground.
No cradle for his daughter, and I'm hateful for the weight placed on his people.
Caught on video.
Videotape, just cradled in the bend of his spine.
No cradle at the end of a life.
Mistaken taste get cradled in the bend of a spine.
No cradle at the end of a life.
41 shots fired.
Amadou
19
Diallo.
cradled in the bend of a spine.
Derek Kopp.
No cradle at the end
Fernando
of a life.
Trinidad.
Was cradled in the bend of
Adolph
a
Grimes
spine.
III.
Cradled in the bend of a
Vincent Lee.
spine.
Fong Chin. Christopher Harris. Oscar Grant. We remember.
All right, next I would like to present a really good friend of mine who I've known for about 10 years now. It's been a really long time. I remember she was one of the first poets that I saw perform at the tender age of 19 when I was sneaking in underage to try to go to open mics when I first started doing spoken word in Chicago. And she blew me away then and continues to blow me away now. She has her MFA from Sarah Lawrence, among many other wonderful accomplishments and different amazing things that she's done, including being a founding member of Louder Arts in New York City. So, everybody please welcome good friend of mine, amazing, excellent, wonderful poet, Marty McConnell.
Thank you for being here on a Saturday morning. I'm so impressed with all of you. I mean that. So I want to start with this poem. We're going to be doing a sort of round robin, and I decided I want to start with this one after hearing what the amazing Kuumba Lynx youth did, because I think a lot of the function of poetry is memory and relating to the body. Once the body is gone, what we have left are memories and recollections and words. This is an older poem I don't do very often, but it sort of calls back to me occasionally. For those of you who may not remember, Lacey Peterson is a woman who was killed by her husband when she was almost 9 months pregnant. The only thing to know as I do this is she was killed in late December and her body surfaced in early April. So this is Lacey Peterson's body, late March. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who will wear the robe and crown, good Lord, show me the way. Perhaps I am a fish, the old, uncatchable, whiskered, bloated, too far down for hooks. Do not roll the stone away, I will not be gone. I am here, deflated. This shelf of rock, the birth and deathbed, I have grown scales, gills for nipples, fins to carry this blue baby home. Oh, mothers, let's go down, come on down. Oh, mothers, let's go down in the river. I am a fish, mute and slippery, the weights slide off. I move, my fish mouth gapes, Connor sleeps, I have no ears now to not hear him cry. Oh, sisters, let's go down, come on down. Oh, sisters, let's go down in the river. A blind fish, deeper, where the light does not hit or filter, deeper we swim, close our wide fish eyes for good. No good in seeing the gone world, the man, we are fish, not of him, not mouth that knew his. The water is a kiss, the gills thrill with it. Warm milk, we let the tides rock us, a lullaby toward forgetting. Oh, sinners, let's go down, don't you wanna go down? Oh, sinners, let's go down in the river. Plastic blanket, the surface. Let the bodies to shore, physical evidence only. We stay here. The cave, a wide rock mouth opening. The boy growing a strong, spiny dorsal. My only, the soft caudal fin, the gray-green of amnesia. He gets that from me, you know. Oh, children, let's go down in the river to pray.
All right, so before I bring up our next performers, hey guys, how's it going? It's good. I should have brought a costume too. I feel a little left out. I would like to present another section of Kuumba Lynx. They actually have a show that they are touring. They're going to start to tour it this year. And if you heard them chanting this in their first piece, it's the name of their show. And it stands for Spitting Powerful Rhymes, Organically Unleashing Truth, otherwise known as Sprout. And that show is all about respecting life and ancestry. And that's one of the great things that I love about Kuumba Lynx is that there's always a connection to history and to what came before, as well as to chronicle what's happening now. So give it up once again, Kuumba Lynx.
Dear hip hop, I know I'm the last person you want to listen to, for my generation can't even listen to you. Seems like we lost sight of who you are now that you're gone, that we can only write songs about cranking that, shaking that, making that money off of a catchy beat, though the lyrics were kind of whack. Only if we could hear your voice again, we could flourish ourselves from the trash brought in, then immune our mind like the D vitamin. Those viruses, I think I got an infection. You got it too? Come to the tired of lame hip-hop section. Only you, hip-hop, can vaccine us. I don't want to wake up and realize I got that plus sign. We got to draw the body outline. Why are we striving? Realizing life is more than just surviving. We're never rising. We get stuck inside the lies and we brush it off as bad timing.
Wah, 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 wah.
Living life means more than the concrete light is hiding up to Zion.
Click. Splash, cup, water face, wake up. Splash, cup, water face, wake up. Splash, cup, water face, wake up.
Splash, cup, water face, wake up.
Dazzled
By another Chicago casualty, Quentin.
Shauna.
I missed you. Been missing you even before metal detected your rupture destiny.
Piercing your beat, heart bleeding.
Back when we were learning reading.
Shorties, walks to the corner store always ended with you showing me 2-6 graffiti.
Promising it was stupid, telling me you never do it.
Brought up in a single parent home. You flunked once. Couldn't speak English well.
Third grade teacher said we were taking a big test.
But you only filled in the bubbles because you didn't know what the words said.
Put you on the state's list labeled prison bound.
Used to love the Russian hum of the playground.
No
No
sirens.
sirens.
Sound swept under the dark of flickering street lamps.
Dear Darion, yesterday I watched my people smash your cornrows into your teeth. In broad daylight we literally watched as another Emmett Till came to be.
Saw your face on TV.
Wishing YouTube caught the reasons why the streets bring the kids to grip their fists.
Still, kindergarten through 8th.
We ate textbook lies. Our
Civil rights fought for, erased like overnight
And
chalkboards.
even before we can hope that our diplomas will give us more.
We watched 100 freshmen get shaved to 49 sophomores in this public school to prison pipeline, designed by the same minds that causes these sidewalk soldier wars, resulting in stray bullets being caught by teenage girls in front of corner stores.
Shauna.
before high school you were none.
Teacher called you dumb. So we became one with the wood chips. 6 years before Blair Ho, this violence stung. Bullets lust cradled you in its arms.
I became alarmed, fleeing from the disease. I'm
That
sorry.
flesh put you to
I'm
rest.
sorry,
Quentin.
Alone in the overcrowded classroom storm.
You changed. Every day from school uniform teaching you to conform to black and white Southside Sox pride. You're home.
You started embracing the systematic fate as your own.
Strolling through the hood, still pointed out the graffiti, but you started seeing it differently.
Said 2-6 was your reason for existing.
School cuss couldn't offer after school choice, so you found your voice hanging with the boys.
No resources or someone to vouch for your virtue.
No sports teams to play on, so you
power forward towards 10th grade.
Took away your silly smile, soft heart.
Gangsters beat you down until you got down with the nation. Accepted your no good hood raised label.
I wish they weren't right.
They never saw your light.
Too busy dipping candle wicks for the next victim.
I saw you armed and dangerous. Remember your first prison sentence.
3 months. possession of narcotics.
You grew up fast inside. The last time we spoke, you cried. I held you.
Felt the 10-year-old Quentin coming back too.
But in 4 short weeks, you got slammed with a year-long prison sentence for gun possession.
I know you only carried it for protection. I don't blame you for dying.
Quentin. I blame the system.
I blame the system. Gotta get this message out.
When hate hit our hood, hit me.
Like the silent sirens riding into war zones. Sounds tranquilized by teens killing teens.
Wish the world would stop the silence.
Casualties incarcerated.
Because behind bars, free labor makes more. So let's make some noise like that's dragged across floors.
For mislabeled shorties. Who were never taught more.
Whose freaking qualms with teachers pissed on our potential as leaders.
Because they lack the status quo
of a calm culture demeanor.
38 Chicago school sirens have been silenced by too many tragic stories.
Desensitized to the violence, so tell me, why is it taking so long to notice the schoolhouse to jailhouse trend?
Cause while you twist and turn in your sleep and ignore what's happening, 7 months into 2010 and Chicago's repping 230 deaths.
Now couple that with countless arrests.
Wake up.
Don't wanna change you, I just wanna love me. I don't wanna change you, I just wanna love me. You know the revolution, I said the revolution begins within. How do I become art? My body with so many battle scars has been beaten to tears, never to submission. To submit means they will take me whatever way they can. They will give me so many tips, diets, exercises, shakes, powders, pills, juices, formulas, thinking that happiness lies in transformation, not evolution. There are folks on the train who move as far away as possible because they think fat is catching. Disgusting, unfair. She only pays for one seat, only pays one fare. But never consider how seats and minds are designed for one body in a world of infinite possibility. Vague, nameless people. I've heard it said that rather than look like me, they'd rather be dead. Natural sense of superiority revealed amongst close friends or in close calls like, my car just got totaled, I just got fired, my husband never listens to me, but at least, I am not fat. Right. Do you expect me to jiggle shamefully, beg for your acceptance, beg for your respect because of my offensive appearance? Well, I'm not Star Jones, Ricky, Oprah, or that girl from Floetry because all big-boned women are different, not desperate or limited to the circumference of our thighs. Sorry, I'm not meant to play ugly best friend to a world who won't recognize the person behind the plus size, but no one draws me, writes me into eternity, so I write myself into existence. PHAT, girl who twirls words on her tongue, jawbreaker exploding into waiting minds. Eager to taste stars falling right from my mouth, bursting sweetness and darkness to be lit by fire of my full form. I am bountiful in body, graceful in glory, beautiful in boldness, with no need, I said no need to ever be ashamed of my peaks, valleys, and rolls, ever only grateful. Thank you. All right, so I would like to bring back up Miss Marty McConnell, who is a 2-time HBO deaf poet and is also a fabulous curator in her own right. She is actually working on a show at Lynx Hall for this next weekend coming up. Calisthenics for Shrapnel. Yes. Please go check that out at Lynx Hall. I'm sure it's going to be wonderful. Give it up one more time for Marty McConnell.
So I'm going to thank Nikki for lightening it up a little bit. I know people were probably like, wow, is it going to be like an hour and a half of death and mayhem? But so I want to do this poem. I write a fair amount about the body in different ways. It resonated with me when Nikki was like, that's all I write about. And when people are like, why do all your poems have to do with the body? I'm like, well, it's where I live. And so I figure it has a lot to do with things. So we'll just do this. I have my book right there because I've only had 1 cup of caffeine so far. So, bless you. When your grandmother mistakes your girlfriend for a man, do not rise up over the dinner table like a sequin tornado or burning flag. It is Christmas. And though the forks curl their tines into tiny silver fists, and the frost-rimmed windows blink in embarrassment, focus on your lover as she clears her throat extra low, passes the salt to your grandmother, who thanks the young man with the strange haircut and delicate hands. This is no time for declarations, and no one's seemed to notice, though the milk's gone solid in the pitcher, and your father is suddenly fascinated by the unmoving air in the other room. Your mouths do not move except to chew. This is family. This is holiday. There are no affairs, no addictions. Your family crest reads in embroidered Gaelic translation, the less said, the better. Though your father did offer once to pay for your therapy, back when no one you knew was in therapy, and there was no way you were going to talk to a stranger about things you'd never say to your mother, even drunk, even on Easter. So to say something now about what might be a mistake or just the easiest way to explain a faux hawk would be bringing sand to the bank, unprofitable and a little bit insane. You study your lover's chin. The tweezers wince under the sink. She could be a boy, you think. Apocalyptic Christian emails aside, maybe your grandmother is progressive, astute in her own southern, incidental way. Your voice offering her the butter is a punk band playing an abortion clinic, all feedback, and nobody wants you. She's your grandmother. She's nearly 100. It took your uncle 30 years to get sober. Your grandfather died still owning the manual to every piece of machinery he'd ever owned. You still don't know how to make any kind of pie. There are no family recipes. In the far corner of your liver, your other grandmother looks up from her patient sectioning of a grapefruit, offers you a chunk of your own atrophied tongue, trembling at the edge of her serrated spoon.
Okay, up next, we have an amazing poet who is in Chicago by way of Trinidad, then New York, and I'm sure there's a few stops in there that I'm missing, but he's an amazing writer and performer. He is a 3-time HBO deaf poet, also a founder of the Louder Arts Collective in New York, which has produced some really amazing work and an incredible anthology, I believe. Yes? You guys put out an anthology yet? You never did? All right, well, they have so many great people involved, I thought that they must have, so my apologies, you should, okay, to-do list, all right, sorry. Okay, anyway, everybody please welcome another good friend of mine, Roger Bonair-Agard.
Hi, good morning. I was running late, hence the onesie thing. It's a long story. Late summer Chicago. I've only been living in Chicago a year now, and I really hate you with your winters, all right? At least the city warns you round late August that it's entirely tired of your shit. Your grand summers of plenty and arrogance. You thought you were going to learn the names of every flower you passed on your way from the house to the train. Not even time enough for that, for your gloat of joy. Look at the sky, you told everyone. Look at the trees. Look at the children frolicking in the park. Now Chicago is about to bring everything crashing down, you and your drum circle of sunshine. First, the wind. And if you're not paying attention, you're thinking about how pleasant the weather's got. You're about to praise God or some shit, not understanding that it's his twin beginning to laugh across that massive lake. Still, you go out to the beach and marvel at the birds, the Queen Anne's lace, the battalion of dragonflies droning about. In this weather, the air is thinning and almost cool, and you're a blur down Wilson, up Kimball. You turn onto Kedzie at such a tilt, you're Lance Armstrong with the devil at your back, laughing coyly. But you know, Chicago's weather will turn on you like white people. Not even the wind is consistent in its compass. Watch. It'll be no time before the god of marigolds and dragonflies abandons you. Now, it's the time of the hawk and broken boilers. Listen, the city's been trying to hip you to it since June. Hear the locusts in the trees? God can't send enough crows to silence their plague. They've been singing since May. They know who their master is. They've always known what's been coming, and they're not trying to fool nobody. Burning Brooklyn, 1968. The child is about to become a ward of the state, a foster child, a panic button of a boy several miles away from his mother. His hair is Indian straight. His father is nowhere to be found. The child is about to become a victim. The child cries constantly. He's given up on several times in several places at once. He is casting the foundation of his own cruelty. The year is 1968, and the child, the boy, is beginning the slow move toward addiction, toward a sex that smokes in his lungs. He is composing the dark art of his own body. He is born into the darkened hallway of American history, and cities are burning, and burning black men. And the boy stays black inside the Angel Friends nursing home. He's already unstoppable. He is the beginning of an unfathomable wildness. His hair begins to curl, his body to sinew into fist and appetite. If you see the way the boy tenses against a Brooklyn spring in 1968, you would know how the body is going to dash itself against rocks. Come to the blast furnace of his birthing. Pray over him there if his odyssey is to bring him home finally, if he is to survive himself and the myth of his own invincibility. Remember, he is already thrice denied before he is two. His father by letter, a family fed up of his wailing, and his grandmother by shame. Only hysteria saves him. Only the brilliant shine of his mother's own wildness before him gives him a bowl in which to culture. She gives him books and speaks to him from the gospel of Marilyn Monroe. She gives him music lessons, a white-wheeled bicycle, thighs the size of redwoods, but he is already building scar tissue to replace his heart. His bones will never break. If you come there to 1968, you will know how easily his flesh will learn to heal, how the skin purples in on itself the second the bleeding stops. See how his chest becomes a promontory, how he learns to be guided from the hip and throat. His feet are becoming planks of wood. This is how early the boy begins the project of calcification, how he grows leaves and blossoms of a flamboyant. His torso become trunk, how he learns to be velvet, iron, splinter, island, lyre, sunshine, moss, teeth, sweat, priest, pimp, assassin, shepherd, the smelter of steel, a ringing in the ears, the hush of bamboo, the smell of burning.
All right, so I want to bring up Marty McConnell one more time before we close out the show. And just to let you know, she not only writes and performs, but she's also helping other people write and perform, which I think is really amazing. And she does it for the grown-ups, though. Kuumba Lynx does it for the young ones. Marty does it for the grown-ups. She runs a workshop series called Vox Ferris, and it's a pretty incredible workshop series from what I've heard. I've been privileged to hear a lot of the work that's come out of that workshop series, and they're doing amazing work. And I'm sure she can tell you a little more about it. I'm sure she has flyers, so please ask for one. And please give it up. Once again, Marty McConnell.
There are indeed flyers. They're on the table out there, along with flyers for the festival next weekend. So do pick one up. Do come to the workshops. Also, the festival, our headliner is Dorothy Allison, who wrote Bastard Out of Carolina, and I have a voicemail where she says my name. And that's exciting in my life. I mean, granted, she's just saying, you know, are you going to pick me up at the airport or something? But it's still really exciting. So there's a lot of really great stuff going on, and it's at Lynx Hall in Wrigleyville. So come out and see it. This will be my last poem. This is Instructions for a Body. Praise the miracle body, the odd and undeniable mechanics of hand, 100-bone foot, perfect stretch of tendon. Tell me there are no gods then, no master plan for this anatomy with its mobile and evident spark. Someone says children of light, and another goddess fragment, and another chosen, a dozen makers, myriad paths, one goal, some scalpel, some chisel, some crazed sentimental engineer giving rib, giving eyelash, giving gut and thumb, all mattering, all set down in a going world, vulnerable and divine. In the beginning was the Word, or before time, there was a void until a voice said, I and was, or there was star and dust, explosion and animal, mineral, us. Praise the veins that river these wrists. Praise the prolapsed valve in a heart. Praise the scars marking a gallbladder absent. Praise the rasp and rattle of functioning lungs. Praise the pre-arthritic ache of elbows and ankles. Praise the lifeline sectioning a palm. Praise the photographic pads of fingertips. Praise the vulnerable dip at the base of a throat. Praise the muscles surfacing on an abdomen. Praise these arms that carry babies and anthologies. Praise the leg hairs that sprout and are shaved. Praise the ass that refuses to shrink or be hidden. Praise the place that bleeds and accepts, bleeds and accepts. Praise the prominent ridge of nose. Praise the strange convexity of rib cage. Praise the single hair that insists on growing from a right areola. Praise the dent where the moles clip from the back of a neck. Praise these inner thighs brushing. Praise these eyelashes that sometimes turn inward. Praise these hips preparing to spread into a grandmother's skirt. Praise the beauty of the freckle on the first knuckle of a left little finger. We're gone in a blizzard of seconds. Love the body human while we're here. A gift of minutes on an evolving planet, a country in flux, give thanks. What we take for granted, bone and dirt and the million things that will kill us someday, motion and the pursuit of happiness, no guarantees, give thanks for chaos theory, ecology, common sense that says we are web, a planet in balance or out, that butterfly in Tokyo setting off thunderstorms in Iowa, the one renegade cell gone cancerous, the one vote becoming 7, becoming 548, twisting the fate of a nation. Tell me you don't matter to a universe that conspired to give you such a tongue, such rhythm or rhythmless hips, such opposable thumbs. Give thanks or go home a waste of spark. Speak or let the maker take back your throat. March or let the creator rescind your feet. Dream or let your God destroy your good and fertile mind. This is your warning. This, your birthright. Do not let this universe regret you.
I know, I love that poem too. Okay, so last up, and to round out the show, I'm going to bring back Kuumba Lynx. I wanted to let you know that they have been writing and teaching and performing with youth since 1996, which in Chicago or anywhere is no small feat. And what's amazing about them is that the young people that were involved with them in 1996 are still involved with them today and have now become teaching artists in their own right, which I think is amazing. And as Jacinda, who's one of the founders of Kuumba Lynx, she always likes to say that, yeah, they won't leave. She said they won't. We try to get them to go, but they just want to stay. And I think that's a testament to their amazing work. And if you would like to see more of what Kuumba Lynx does, they're doing work in schools all across Chicago. On December 11th at Clarendon Park, they are doing their 14th annual Arts Explosion, which will feature over 250 youth from Chicago performing in dance and spoken word, presenting visual art and music. It's going to be incredible, and they're in their 14th year of doing that. And so I'm going to present their last section where they're going to talk about reclaiming hip hop and its origins for themselves. One of the things that Kuumba Lynx likes to say, which I think is brilliant, and they said it to me before we started the show, they said, before we can go green, we have to go brown and black. Because how can we save a tree before we can save human beings? And I completely agree. Give it up one more time, Kuumba Lynx.
Booty video, take one.
Booty, booty, money, money. Give me the cash and honey. Booty, booty, money, money. Give me the cash and honey. Yo, you know name brands is always gravy. You know they always fly, so don't be shady. You know my clothes got your attention, baby. So if you wanna look good, buy these brands, baby. Booty, come on, booty, money, money. Alright, I got y'all. Girl, you looking good, won't you back that thing up? You's a fine little mama, won't you back that thing up? Call me big daddy, won't you back that thing up? Girl, you playing with? Y'all back me.
This just in. Another innocent credit card.
Swiped.
America.
You say you love me.
But channel changing challenges me with girl exposed chest.
Living in Chicago's belly. The industry beats to pick breast over breath.
It's not a rarity to see the poverty of misogyny.
What if we were to capture the last master who whipped his dancer?
Like rappers shackle ladies with Jackson and Benjamin actions.
Like Weezy's words whipping women with rhymes.
Lines like, I just wanna every girl in the world.
It's common for a moneymaker to own a booty shaker.
Pink hair with a body not from these stars. Yelling ignorantly, riding in her pink car. A bad dancer.
A booty and breast enhancer.
The pow pow answer.
Women are owned by media masters.
Whipped by puppet rappers and newscasters.
Our solution to the evolution of booty pollution
starts by producing powerful poetry fruition.
Reducing lyrics that hit like whips. The one shackling us,
calling her rats and chicks.
Lips tricked into using this mic.
Mastering ceremonies, moving crowds towards our demise.
Taking flight to drop bombs that bite. The rappers are master's voice.
The chord is his whip.
Women are shipped to media masters to be hit like slaves shipped, but only so they could live. Only so they can be bid like objects.
Sold to the one with the most gold.
Trophies are soon going to be trashed, cause objects can only really last for
5 years.
Left with 4 scars.
Leads to 3 golden prizes
that are equal to $2.
They get thrown into one garbage can. 2010 seems to question how young ladies feel within.
We can't brush off these burden bruises.
Or make any more excuses for our abuses.
Tell misogyny deuces.